The American Adventure, brought to you by the Jeep Corporation. It takes guts to go where no one else goes. Jeep Guts.
Hey, this is Jason from Denwerks. Wanted to show you my new little rig. It's a 1972 CJ5. It's super cool. It's probably one of my favorite rigs that I've owned this year. I've had a lot of them, but this thing is so unique and interesting to me. You know, it's not in perfect shape. It's not a glamour mobile, but it's just something special. First time I ever saw it, I just fell in love and had to have it. And that's just the way I am with some of this stuff. I only buy what I like, and so we'll walk around it and I'll show you different things about it. And there's a lot of flaws and a lot of cool stuff. You can see up front here, we'll turn all the headlights on and see the lights working up top and on the bottom. See the running lights are working, the headlights are working. Got bright lights, got left and right turn signal. So those are all working good. You can see it's got a tow bar on it. When I first bought it, I bought it out of Portland, Oregon, and I actually towed it home. And you know, towing it does great. You know, you can go 65 miles an hour towing it, but you know, driving it, the rig really likes 45, 50. Perfect for cars and coffee. Perfect if you have like a you know, a vacation home or something like that, and you just want something to tootle around with. And it spent the last 4 years, its main journey was hunting here in Oregon, and went on some you know, whitetail and stuff, deer hunting, and they actually pulled one of them out with it last year. So anyways, we'll take a look at some of the body. You can see different flaws. You can see here you know, it's ripped apart there on the fender. You can see a lot of flaws on it. Little hole right here. You know, I don't think it was ever a park ranger, you know, up in Alaska, but I think that it did actually spend, I don't have a lot of history on it, and the guy that I got it from didn't either, but he said that he got it from a guy that bought it from a friend of his that actually had it up in Alaska for some time. And I think that probably the way the story is that he was a volunteer search and rescue guy up there in that area. I know that it spent some time in Colorado, also back in the 80s and 90s, and so I think it's been everywhere. It's just a cool rig. So we'll look at the tow bar. It's in good shape. All the chains are on it. I like the girth across the bumper. There's a little dent. Actually, it's a big dent across the hood here. You can see a dent right there, a crack in the paint. But all this adds to the beauty of it to me. I mean, it's got its flaws. You can see some little rust right there. CV antenna. You can see up there the rack. Very cool. It's got a basket there, so if you're out in the wilderness and you're saving somebody, you need to fly a helicopter in, you'll be all set up with that. It's got an axe, all that. You know, I think that the guy that had it a number of years ago too, I mean, it's pretty obvious. He had a rescue dog, canine dog named Gus. And this is the coordinates actually for Denali National Park. Look around here in the back. You know, it's just a really neat rig. And you can see around the wheel wells, you can see some dents right here. The tires are actually in really good shape. The thing about the top, this is a pretty rare top in general. This is a winter top, and you don't see those very often on any rig. So we'll look around here on this side. You'll see the same kind of things. A lot of dents, scratches. Actually, in some of the pictures, if you remember, I had an American flag there. It must have blown off. Actually, when I bought it, it had an American flag on there, and it's a magnet. We'll have to go find it out on the road. This is where a rust spot was cut out. You can see underneath the hood in a little bit. But this is just a patch they put in it. You can see the bear on the hood, or I mean on the door. This top is called a Bonanza 3 top, but it's actually in really good shape. You can see a little bit of rust right here in the rocker. You can see some rust through in these spots. But honestly, I don't really care. I love the look of it. I love the way it drives. It's fun. You know, originally, I got the spare tire back here, but originally the spare tire would have sat here. It was connected with this. I don't know exactly how that does, but if you look at all, you know, vintage photos and stuff of old CJs, you'll see them on the side. You look across the back here. It's just a really cool rig. It's got some old stickers and stuff. Fill your gas here. Palmer Lake Fire Department. That's up in Alaska. You can just look around. It's got a tow hitch back here. Actually, this thing had a boat on it at one point too. This top rack you can actually take off, and they rolled a boat. This is what this is, and it had a boat that you could flip up there. Everything that you see on this thing is included in the sale. Even the home light, chainsaw, gas can, you know, the boxes. I got other stuff in the interior. So we'll go ahead and look at the interior and show you around. Okay, we'll go ahead and take a look at the inside. You'll notice that these don't have any door locks. You know, this winter top is in great shape. It's not rusty. These are really rare to find. And so look across the dash here. This isn't a real gun, by the way, just in case anyone's nervous. Just have it in there for fun. The machete, it's real. So you can see the seats. I actually had the seats redone. They're in very nice condition. And the back seat I didn't have refinished because it was decent. There's a little rip there, a couple little rips in it, but I didn't have that redone. And you can see the headliner, you know, it's just older. You know, part of it's missing in it. You know, like I was talking before, the glove box doesn't have a glove box back behind it. See across the dash is a nice condition overall. And so here's your four-wheel drive unit. It actually works, and kind of hard to show you that on video, but it does work. You can see the floors. There's some cracking and stuff, some rust spots going on. A lot of surface, but there's some cracking. Go ahead and take you in, show you the other side. Okay, here we are on the driver's side. I was going to show you here, there was a compartment underneath the seat, and just flip that up, little compartment there. Then the seat just flips back. You know, if someone wants to get in the back, you can actually crawl through or flip it up forward. But again, it's, you know, it's actually a nice interior for an old Jeep. And you can see here some little rust spots on the floor. You know, there's some rough stuff about it, you know, but there's a lot of positives on this little guy, and super fun to drive. You can see here the April 1972 when it was built, VIN number again. And this is original paint in here. I'm not trying to say it's fancy, it's just original paint on it. And so, you know, that backpack comes with it, that rope. I like the Forest Service canteen, and there's a harness for rock climbing. So anyways, I hope that gives you a good idea of the interior. You know, you can see a couple little cracks around the steering wheel. And so we'll go ahead and show you underneath the hood. Okay, we'll take a look underneath the hood. You just flip these latches right here, and then there's one in the center. I'll have Tim flip it up for us. and you just rest it up there. You know, they came with a couple different engine sizes for this year in 1972. They came with a 232 inline six. This is a 258 inline six. This is actually the most preferred. And then they also came with a V8 304. And you know, the 304, good motor, but it was just a little bit, I think it's just a little bit too heavy for the front of these rigs, you know, short wheelbase. But we'll go ahead and look around here. You know, the engine's pretty stock. We put a new valve cover on it. It was leaking a little bit, so we went ahead and put a new valve cover gasket on it. You can see some fuses and relays here. These are for the lights. Original VIN tag is right there. And then there's also a tag on the up there on the interior on the dash. And so, but you can see the original firewall is actually in really nice shape. That's the original red paint. Up here on the radiator support, there's the original stamping, 405. I don't know what that is, but that's original to the rig. We'll look around here to the other side. You know, not a lot to see. I mean, this thing, it runs good and in good shape. You can see here, we show it in pictures where that rust was behind. And then a long time ago, they fixed something with a sign down there. Crime, I don't know what it says, Crime Night or something. But you can see underneath here, you can see here where the heater hoses go in there, but the heater blower's not working. Newer battery, 516. And but you can see that it hasn't had any been hit or anything or any damage like that. It's just, you know, just wear and tear, you know, for being used through the year. So we'll go ahead and start the engine up. You can hear it run real fast. Should have had Tim over there already, but it'll just take us a second. Okay, go ahead and start her up. You know, it runs very, very smooth. And we'll rev it up a little bit. A little squeaky belt, I'll fix that. But it runs very smooth, and little guy has a lot of power. Hey, here we are out driving the 72 CJ5 out here in beautiful country. You know, this is November. Surprised it's sunny today. We've had a lot of rain. We got a lot of old cool barns and fields and different stuff. It's just, I just was down in San Diego last week in Mexico, and I was really happy to come back here. Just the scenery is so green, and both places are beautiful, but you know, there's nothing like Oregon. But anyways, we're out here cruising, driving around. Just wanted to show you certain things working and things. You can see the odometer's working, speedometer's working. It really likes around 45, 50 miles an hour. It gets a little wandery. Especially these old Jeeps are short wheelbased, and the steering's kind of loose on it, which that's really what you want for off-road. And but you know, this rig's, you know, it's just worn, and so it does wander a little bit, just so you know. There's certain things that work. The CB turns on, but I haven't been able to get any sound out of it, so I haven't been able to call any truck drivers and stuff. The horn doesn't work. Your blinkers work. You can see here on the dash, they're blinking. So they work left and right. The wipers actually do work, but I'm missing an arm over here on the right. I wish I could have got it on video. It actually flew off while I was driving. I don't know exactly what happened, but it does have all the heating stuff underneath the dash, but it's not hooked up. And honestly, you probably don't really need it because the heat from the engine blows back through here. And so, I mean, it's a pretty cool rig. There's a brake control for the brake release right here. You push it down the floor and you pull right there. And then also there's some toggle switches, which I'll show you later, over here underneath the dash for all the lights on the outside. So it's a pretty cool rig. We'll drive it around here. You can see the notice here to how to lock your hubs up front. Glove box. There's no glove box actually behind it, just an open space. So anyways, we'll drive it around and pull over here in a little bit and then let you get a good look.